Hello. What is up? This is alertwolf here to bring you another DC Nation review. This time it's of, obviously, Batman The Dark Knight Returns Part 2. Alright, bam, on Blu-ray. And I forgot to show this in the last video, also on Blu-ray. Now, I borrowed this from a friend of mine. And, you know, I'm doing both reviews back to back, so here we go. Now, this second picture, this one focuses on different characters. We're gonna have, obviously, the new police commissioner that replaces Gordon, the conflict she has with Batman. We're gonna have his conflict with the Joker, which is a big part of the story, and oh, it was so good. And then we're gonna have his final showdown with the Man of Steel Superman. Now, I will say this real fast about Superman. It was so refreshing. I cannot say this enough, to see the yellow S on Superman's cape. I mean, I am sick. This is going to be a 2-second rant. And tired of them lazy. This all started with the Superman animated series back in the 90s, and they said it was too hard to animate the freaking yellow S. Meanwhile, Super Friends had been doing it for years, and their animations sucked. So that was a huge load of crap. But since then, the style of, let's not put a freaking, you know, let's not put an S on the back of a yellow S on the back of Superman has been trending and following, and it supremely pisses me off. They didn't do it in the last movie. They didn't toss an S. The last live action movie. They didn't. They did away with it almost in the comics. All the movies that they put out, he never has the yellow S, and I can't stand it. They do this with the action figures, everything. It took me years to find an action figure. The one you see, you know what? Hold on, I'm gonna go get it. That's how motivated I am on this. See that? See that? That, folks, that's Superman right there. See that? Look at that. Look at that. See that? What's this? What's this on the back? Sorry, there's a little dust on the figure, but oh, it's a yellow freaking S. It looks amazing. But all right, enough of that rant. So, anyway, back to the story. So that's what this part of the story focuses on. The Joker maneuvers his way to want to tell his side of the story, and then moronic doctor of his agrees, and he maneuvers his way that he wants to tell his story to the talk show. The doctor's like, well, I'll have to be on it, because he's thinking of his own fucking ego. And there you go. Now, we also have Reagan gets involved and orders Superman to go talk to Batman. He's not asking him to go take care of him. He just wants him to talk to him. Now, let me explain something about the politics behind this movie. And the politics are in the background to this, all over this piece. Now, during the 80s, especially for a while there, we're at the towards the end of the Cold War, and people, honestly, there was a lot of people that thought that Reagan was going to cause World War III, and the only way the Cold War was going to end was with nuclear weapons. And this was a big fear and a big part of the culture in that part of the 80s. You know, I mean, you saw this with Watchmen. You saw this, it was expressed in a couple of the other groundbreaking books released at that time. So, painting Reagan in this light at the time address the fears that they had. Now, of course, we know history went a completely different route. Reagan ended up winning the Cold War, and there you go. And no big shots were fired. There was no nuclear war. We're still here. So, not to give you, but that's, people saw it going that route, even though reality had it going a completely different route. But that aside, so that's something, people may not, especially some of you younger viewers, may not understand about the culture in which this book came out in. This all predicated on the Cold War, the fears of the Cold War, especially since it was coming to an end, and people thought it was going to come to an end in violence. So, yeah, so he orders Superman to go talk to him. Meanwhile, Batman is interrogating this new chick who's running some of the gangs in town, and he's having a fight with her, and the fight's pretty awesome, and he wants to get out what the Joker's up to. And her thing is, she's like a Nazi chick. She's a big chick too, big tough chick, and during the fight, Superman shows up. And to give you an idea of what type of Superman this is, there was a scene where people fall in front of the moving train. They help two of the guys up, but the other guy who's blind didn't get out of the way in time. Superman, who's tracking Batman, sees this, swoops in real fast with super speed, and instead of picking the guy up and putting him on the platform, he stops the train. So, more of a show of brute force than finesse, and it just gives you a hint into the type of Superman we're going to be dealing with. And so in the end, Superman comes out, stops the fight in the middle, and he's like, "You and me need to talk." And Batman's like, "All right, tomorrow." And Robin, who's been working with Batman, now we get. And Batman was incognito too, in disguise. We get, okay, that's gonna happen. So they talk, and it's the scene, they're on a ranch with some horses, and Superman is like, Mr. Debonair, and that comes from like a Bob Kane comic almost, but friggin' the bald eagle comes to Superman, meanwhile Batman's petting the wolf. So, you just kind of get it, and they're having this deep discussion over what happened to the DCU, and he's like, we all agree to it, and they use an example, after the death of Jason Todd, and he's like, we all signed it, we all went along with it. He's like, yeah, Hal's off the planet, meaning so he's still Green Lantern, he's just not Green Lantern on Earth anymore. He's like, and what about Ollie? He didn't agree. And the imagery here with the eagle snatching up the mouse tells it all. He's like, oh, well, I wish it hadn't gone down like that. And so they had a discussion. It really didn't go anywhere, but Superman's like, they're eventually, if you get any worse, they're eventually going to send me after you. I don't want that to happen. He's like, whatever. And the line is about them both being criminals, which was pretty good. So the new commissioner takes over. She is anti-Batman, and Gordon, in his speech commemorating her right before she took over, he's like, listen, you can either choose to make this man your ally or your enemy, but either way you have my support. So the first thing she does is choose to make him an enemy. Now the big scene is they're gonna have on a talk show. On this talk show, they're having the Joker, who's killed like 600 people, and he's coming on the talk show. Funny side note: the talk show host is Conan O'Brien. He plays the character, but he's voicing it, and his sidekick, obviously, Andy Richter. So we had some celebrity voices, and I thought it was pretty funny to have them be those guys. So then Batman and Robin show up in the Batcopter, which has like a cloaking thing, and he's like, stay in the copter, don't touch anything, you're fired. So his whole mission is he wants to get to the Joker before the Joker, who had someone similar to some fat guy similar to the Toy Man, not the Toy Man, but make like these animatronic robot doll things full of Joker gas, and he had given the Joker plugs to wear. He's like, just breathe through your nose and you'll be fine. And so before this, so you know, the police are there to stop Batman from getting in, and they want to get the Joker too. So Batman ends up having a battle with the police, thus stopping Batman from getting in to where the Joker was. And the battle police was pretty good because Batman doesn't miss words. People are shooting at people. I mean, it's just good. Batman uses his ninja skills with smoke bombs. Now, I will say this too about Batman. His costume has changed between the pictures because he's come up with a new costume, a new logo. It's more all black because it's, you know, the old, you know what it is? The old costume was just that, the costume from 10 years ago. The colors were faded. It was faded. It was an old costume. The costume he's wearing now, the black is nice. The grays are nice. It's just more solid. It's a brand new costume. I do like that. So anyway, as they're fighting it out, the Joker proceeds. He's like, you know what I'm gonna do, guys, to make myself different, to make you guys get me? I'm gonna kill everybody in this room. And they're like, what? He's like, yeah. And he's like, what about this cup? You know, do we get to keep this? And Conan's like, yeah, do whatever you like with it. So he breaks it, slits the throat of this doctor. The dolls come in, the poison gas gets released, killing everybody. Finally, Conan goes down, and he dies as well. And the Joker waltzes away. Meanwhile, the battle with the police gets more serious to the point where Robin hot wires the bat copter, saves Batman, and they bounce. And the death toll reaches an enormously high amount. Meanwhile, he had also been given lipstick, and I knew there was something special about it. So he ends up finding Selina Kyle, who has not aged well. She is big and fat, but apparently, and old, obviously. She runs a high-class escort service. So he kisses her, and by kissing her, it's a mind control thing. And so he wants one of her girls, the one who's seeing the senator, to do something too. So he kisses the senator's chick kisses him and has him say that they're going to fire nukes, a political thing, and he was wrapped in an American flag and naked, and he falls to his death. And that was just to get Batman's attention. So Batman goes over there, ever the master of disguise, pretending to be this other detective, and he's like, so what do we got here? Oh, blah 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 from Selina Kyle Escorts, like Selina Kyle. So Batman already knew, and then the real guy shows up as Batman walking away, and then they leave in a bat cycle, and they're all of them are racing to Selina Kyle, who's been dressed up and tied up like like Wonder Woman. Now he ends up wiping away the lipstick. You get that the Joker raped her, okay? That happened. He clearly changed her. He raped her a little. I'm sure it was sodomy. I'm sure it wasn't regular rape. But you know, they left a clue, and that was cotton candy. Now, this is bad because it's like the first day of that fair, you know, and Robin's like, my friends are there, so they go after him to stop him. The Joker goes on a killing spree, starts shooting people. You know, he just goes crazy. He wants to create the most damage. Now, Batman and Robin switch. Robin, she goes to stop the fat dude and the two baby dolls from blowing up the coaster, while Batman tries to stop the Joker. Things get serious when the Joker had somebody as a hostage. Batman threw batarangs at him, got him in both shoulders and the eye. And he's like, what the hell did you do that for? So things are getting, you know, this is it. You know, this is their final confrontation. Batman took out his eye. He's shooting to kill. He's like, and Batman even said it. He's like, I'm tired of playing with you. So their battle is great. Let me just quickly get to the Robin battle. The Robin battle she ends up stopping the dolls, fighting the big fat guy, and she ends up throwing him off her. She was trying to choke her, and he gets caught on some mechanisms that are used to bring the coaster up, which pull him up and 86 his head. Meanwhile, they have a fight in the Hall of Mirrors. Then they end up fighting in the Love Tunnel, and Joker's just, as he's walking by, indiscriminately killing people. Batman gets shot, and now he's wounded and injured. He's going after the Joker. They have a fight. The Joker ends up stabbing Batman a bunch of times as Batman's choking him. Batman breaks the Joker's neck and throws him down. And he's like, well, finish me off, kill me. And he's like, I'm not going to do that. And he's like, well, I won anyway, I made you lose control. And he starts laughing, and he cracks his own neck by writhing, and kills himself. But he was crippled anyway, he was done. So then Batman's sitting next to him, like, about to pass out. The cops are going to get them. He spits at the Joker, burns the Joker's body, tries to get away, gets away, eventually, Robin gets him out of there. They go back to the Wayne Manor, where Alfred does everything he can to save him, and he does. Now, during this time, as Batman's recuperating, the Joker is now dead. Superman had been fighting a little war in a little island, single-handedly, basically, taking out the Soviet troops and winning. As retaliation, they fired a nuke at us, which Superman was able to stop, but it blew up in his face somewhere over and near Gotham City, taking out Gotham City's electric. The way they animated Superman getting effed up by the A-bomb was amazing. He just looked like he was a zombie. He even, walked around like that. It almost looked like he was absorbing the life around him when he started to heal, because Superman heals really fast. He's like Wolverine. So that was pretty cool. Batman comes out of his little mini coma, figures out that what's causing the blackout was an EMP, and he's like, we got to get out there, because the city's going to be in chaos. And the EMP takes out pretty much most of the eastern seaboard, or most of America anyway. And he was like, this was their plan to make us weak. Things are quickly going into chaos. People are looting. Meanwhile, Gordon, who's retired, was sent out on the streets by his wife right before this to go get some groceries. So he's out there in the thick of this. Real fast. Basically, Batman gets on horseback, rounds up all the mutant gangs, especially the ones that were loyal to him, and he's like, no, we're going to do things differently. I'm going to train you eventually, but this is what we're doing. And so Batman rounds up the gangs, he stops the Bedlam, and he unites them, and they try to help the city. At the same time, the new commissioner, she's spinning around like a chicken with the head cut off, not knowing how to handle this crisis. Now Gordon, also at the same time, is handling the crisis by him, where they're looting, they're going crazy. He shoots a gun in the air, gets their attention. He's like, what are you guys doing? This is our neighborhood. We're all neighbors here. What are we doing? Our city's gonna burn. It's on fire. He's like, if we don't stop this, all our houses are gonna be gone. Why are we looting? People put down their weapons, put down the shit that we're looting, and like, right. And he's able to motivate them positively. So Batman uses his skills and motivates the lowest of the low to start helping everybody. Gordon does the same thing with regular people acting up, and basically the commissioner, she realizes there's nothing. She's like, I can't do anything to Batman, he's too big. Meaning she finally figured it out that he's inspiring people to do stuff for the better, and so she can't really go after him, because without Batman uniting these people, the city's going to descend into bedlam. So then after this, Power starts coming back. Here, when the dust settles, every city in America, every large city, debilitated and devolved into absolute anarchy. The only city that didn't was Gotham City, and because of Batman. And it's public knowledge that it is because of Batman. So Reagan didn't like this. He's like, it's time for you to take out Batman. He's like, he's not going to come alive. It's like, you do what you have to do. So he goes after, you know, he goes after Batman. And he you know, he beams a thing where, and Batman's like Crime Alley, the military breakout Crime Alley. Batman puts on an exo suit which gives him enhanced strength and muscles, and he has a plan to deal with Batman or Superman. Freaking Ollie comes out, and Ollie is all old, and you know, he looks like he has this big white beard, and he's missing an arm, and he's like, I want a piece of Superman too, I'm with you. So there you go. Green Arrow, what's left of the Green Arrow, and Batman and Robin are gonna fight Superman, and here's the final battle. And Superman, see, from Superman's point of view, he's just obeying the government. You know, even if the government's wrong, he's gonna obey it. So Superman comes for his final fight with Batman. They start throwing down. Batman surprises him first with a gun that causes Batman to bleed. Batman, a sonic gun causes Superman to bleed. Superman stops it. Then Batman taps into a light pole and shocks Superman, which is tapping the whole energy grid, and that hurts. And then they're having an epic, it's just an epic blow for blow throwdown, and it's awesome. Meanwhile, Robin, who is in control of the Batmobile, you know, is having this distracting the army, and then we see Ollie come through, and he's trying to get into position so he can fire I don't know how he's gonna fire his rigged up arrow, his rigged up bow with one arm, and to take Superman out. And now, just before this started, Batman instructed Alfred to burn down the house, and Batman took like a pill before this. So during the fight with Superman, and it looked like Batman was gonna lose, you know, Ollie gets his shot off, releasing a kryptonite vapor, and then proceeds to beat the crap out of Superman for a little while. And he's like, listen, now how does it feel to be mortal? He's like, just so you know, I have this, and it took me years to develop it. If I wanted to, it could have been lethal. So just so you know, I'm the one man that beats you. And he does. He beats Superman. But Superman's more worried about Batman. Because, again, despite all this, you know, Superman is still Superman, you know? And that's still his buddy Batman that he's been ordered to beat the crap out of and take out and possibly kill. But he's worried because it seems like Bruce is going to have a heart attack. He's like, dude, you need to calm down, man. Take it easy. And it's too late. Bruce has a heart attack and apparently dies. Then there's the funeral. Selina Kyle. By the way, Selina Kyle is one of those other ones that know who Batman is. Then it comes out to the world that it was Bruce Wayne. His holdings disappeared. His manor was destroyed. Alfred also died. Now, I think Alfred died for real. Because, you know, he had a heart attack or a stroke and died after the shock of doing what he did. So the next thing you know, Selina Kyle, who knew who Superman was pissed off at him because, you know, Clark was there. She's like, I know who killed him. And she went to hit Clark, and Gordon stopped her. Gordon's like, so who were you to him? Were you a friend? He goes, I'd like to think so, but you never can be too sure with him. He goes, oh, that sounds about right. And so then there's Robin standing there with the shovel, like trying to hide from Superman. And Superman, like, hears a heartbeat, Batman's heartbeat, even though he's been buried alive. And he looks at her, he smiles, and he winks at her. And that's Superman knowing that, okay, Batman's still alive. It's cool with him. Do what you gotta do. That's Superman giving me okay. And that's cool. That's Superman being a little bit of the old Superman. Ollie's leading underground the pack of the dudes. And, yeah, leading the pack of all the criminals that and the gangs that Batman had rounded up beforehand, and they're gonna build a new Batcave. And then obviously Batman walks through, and he's like, "I'm gonna train you and teach you. You're gonna be my army. And I'm gonna teach you everything I know to protect Gotham City in the shadows." And they're three of them are talking, and Ali's like, you know, the Boy Scout knows about you. He goes, "Yeah, but he's happy with me being in the shadows." I think our message got through, and talking about now he found a way to live, and that's how it ends, with this new thing being done. Okay, so again, the animation incredible, the voice acting spot on, and the story is iconic. So I loved it. Another 5 out of 5. This was great. I went in detailed and length discussion describing you everything that happened. It is just so good. It's just a really good story. So again, I suggest owning it. Go out to your store, buy it, get both of them. This is a must-have for anybody who loves DC, Batman, Superman, the whole works. So not much to say except for like I said in the last video, I am thinking about doing something on Sundays. Again, I'm not sure if it's going to be a live stream or it's going to be maybe I'll just record it and put it out and see how they do. But I am going to do a round table type discussion of comics and other cool shit like that. One of them is from the dude that lent me this, actually. So all of them experts in their field. But I think that's enough out of me. Just one more thing, just a reminder, I've been putting in that petition to save Young Justice and Green Lantern at the bottom, so check in the notes. But that's enough out of me. You've heard way too much. So click it up if you like it, comment if you must, and please, please, please subscribe if you can. And this is Alert Wolf signing out.